This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
You're listening to INC Radio.
Broadcasting live from Chicago, Illinois. DZEM 954 AM station. Here to bring you great conversations about faith, people, places, culture, and recent events all around the district. Join us on YouTube at INCradio.org. Hello, Northern Midwest and the rest of the world. It's time to get this show started.
Yes, hello. It's time to get the show started. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of INC Radio's Northern Midwest. I am one of your hosts for the day, Brother Elsom John Cruz, live here from the local congregation of Rockford, Illinois, here in the District of Great Lakes. And it's not just me today. Actually, I have a co-host joining me from Bloomingdale. So I'm going to let him introduce himself. Go ahead.
Hi, back again, Brother Abe Romero from Bloomingdale. Glad to be with you, my fellow Illinoisan, right? Yes, I can say that today.
Is that an actual term now, Illinoisan?
Unless I'm saying it wrong, yeah, I believe that's the correct term for someone from Illinois. Not annoying Illinois.
It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's not just the two of us either. Also have someone joining us from Michigan, so I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Oh, she's muted. I don't know if she can unmute or not. There you go. Okay.
Well, lost her voice.
We'll call on her. We'll call on her later. She has a little bit of a technical difficulty.
Oh, no.
We want to thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm already seeing a lot of people there in the live chat from different parts of the district. It's not just in the Chicago or I guess the Illinois region of the district, but also in the different regions as well. So don't forget to put your locals hashtag there so we know where you're tuning in with us from. And if you have any greetings or any shout outs that you want us to give, just put it down there and we will try to read those as well. So you might have seen the title of our topic. It says the heroes in our classroom. So recently we did have a teacher appreciation week, and here on INC Radio Northern Midwest, we're dedicating this show to honor those heroes in the teaching profession who went above and beyond for their students, and of course the impact that they had in our classroom and even beyond graduation as we grow older. I'll just put it that way. So we were told as children that our school teachers are like our second parents. I don't know if you guys have heard that term. I definitely have, and this makes sense because a big part of our childhood is spent in the classroom with our teachers. So the question I want to ask everyone here in the panel, there in our live chat, did you ever have a teacher who took the job of a second parent to the next level? And what made them, I should say, what made them stand out? I guess I should answer this first. For me, I did have a teacher who he didn't do anything special per se, but his enthusiasm when he's talking about history, when he was teaching us about history, is kind of like what got me started on like my interest in history as well. And now I'm doing my own independent research outside of school about like this world history in general and the different things that I find interesting. But how about you guys? Did you have a teacher that kind of like took it to the next level?
That must have been some teacher that got you to study outside of school, EJ.
It was his enthusiasm, and then like his enthusiasm got me to pay attention, to really pay attention in class. I'm sorry to my other teachers. I was I was paying attention, but it was like his enthusiasm in teaching history that got me to pay attention and be like, "Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know or I didn't pay attention before to that part of history, but now it got me interested into like researching it, and it just kind of snowballed from there to me like now doing my independent research. But for you,
I
yeah,
have so many. I could literally talk for hours about the different teachers that I've had in schooling. Just I feel like most of the ones that had an impact in elementary school, I did feel that second parent kind of role where they were just very caring and whatnot. But it was more in my junior high or my middle school years and high school years where I began to learn so much more from these different educators because they all have their own personality quirks. You guys feel that, right? Like
mm,
like they all have their own I guess ways that they run their classroom. They kind of have their own style, and each of them had their own unique style that got me to kind of focus in on what we were doing. Because personally, the subjects that I always loved were English, anything to do with English, anything to do with literature. Those were always like big for me. But the ones that I struggled with, I did like science, but I struggled with science. So I had some really fun teachers that kind of made science a little bit more bearable for me. Same with math. I struggled with math as I got into it. Was I was better at it when it was more elementary stuff. But once we got to high school, it was tougher. And I did have some teachers who had the patience. I'll say a lot of them did have patience, but a lot of them also did challenge me, and I
mm,
like that factor as I got older, being able to kind of push a little bit more out of you, like
mm,
knowing that like you can do better than this, like not just their kindness, but actually being able to see your potential, like being able to poke at you, like come on, you can
get
do
you
more.
get you to kind of maybe it's something that you haven't realized in yourself as well. Now maybe you had
Mhm.
doubts before, and they're like, no, I've already seen you. I've already seen you able to do it, so go ahead. Like try harder. You can no, you can do it. Actually, that reminded me of like an English teacher I had. Sorry for that little caveat, but I did have an English teacher who, to make her class interesting, to make us more engaged in the, because they made us read like novels, plays back in high school. To make it more interesting, she made us put on a play where we would read like that. We
Ooh.
would read them like movie scripts, so it
Oh,
got us more
that's
engaged.
cool.
Yeah, and then she would assign us roles, and we would like read them like like we were rehearsing for a play.
It kind of sounds like almost like theater class, but not quite. Yeah,
Mm,
I had some teachers back then. I feel like the English teachers were always special. Not that I have favoritism towards them, but they always had unique. Because I remember one of my teachers in my senior year of high school, Mr. F. We'll call him Mr. F. And in the morning, I had him first thing in the morning. And you know how it can be in the morning, right? With a bunch of high
mm,
school students, like everybody's kind of like their
mm,
eyes are, they look so not, you don't look awake at all. And everyone just kind of like has that deadpan face.
mm,
And he would just kind of like, he was goofy. He would just kind of like look at you and get like close, but not totally invading your personal space, but just like,
mm,
just kind of get you to like go back enough to wake up. And then everyone would start laughing, and we would start our day like that. And it was always these simple things that these teachers would do that would kind of, build that connection over time. I think that's another important thing that a good teacher can do is being able to build that connection with their students. I don't know if you guys have experienced that with when you were going to school.
mm.
Create you, PJ, connection, that connection, even like through bonding, like similar tastes in maybe, I don't know, books or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm a weird one.
I'm waiting for Ib to answer because I saw him unmute. So go ahead.
No, I'm just thinking about it because I'm kind of the opposite of you, Tony, and
Okay.
wherein I was stronger in math and science than in my English and history classes. So, um, I was more, fascinated by the demos, the experiments that we got to see in class
Mm,
for like science, chemistry specifically. Um, I remember with my sophomore chemistry class, um, we did a lot of projects, not necessarily experiments per se, but I remember there was one day, for all the science geeks nerds out there, um, if you know what a mole is, the it's a fraction. I'm trying to explain it now just to make it simple, but it's so um,
Not the stuff that you
it's
find on
in
your
terms of
skin,
like
basically. It's
atoms.
me.
It,
Oh, the the animal.
it's like the number of atoms like in
Uh,
the nucleus of of an element. But instead of like, concentrating on like the scientific aspect of that, like she related to like the animal. And so we would do projects with like the animal and make puns about it. And like she made that type of class very lively, I will say. Like I think that's a common trend, like what you're saying, Tony, about your teacher who just brightened the day. I had my chemistry teacher, I had her class early-ish in the day too, so I understand what you meant by not being fully awake at 9 in the morning, maybe, which is odd to say now because like 9 o'clock you should be already like up and away for work. And elementary school, we were already awake and early by then. But um, yeah, those teachers who um not only like bring the energy but also give that variety in technique, because not everyone learns the same too. So
Yes.
a teacher who's able to adjust to lots of learning styles, that's something that I like also look at if I were to explain things to someone, or helping teach someone a new thing too. So
what I'm like gathering is like they like even for most of them who like they've spent years like teaching, probably like seen uh, different generations of kids like grow up, diba? And like in a way pass through their no, pass through their class. They still had that patience, right, to come up with something new to adapt to what interests the that generation of like kids now. Oh, they respond well to this kind of teaching. They respond well to jokes, to puns. It's one of those like qualities that are like just makes them like really stand out, right? It's not like for them, it's not just just business, just it's my job to teach, so I'm just gonna teach. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but they made it extra interesting.
Not just interesting, EJ, but it's you can see the effort, right? I
Mm,
feel like that's also a common thing, and the stuff that we're saying. It's the effort that they put
definitely.
into. Because when I say connection, it's also like knowing your audience, right? Depending on what grade that you're teaching. A lot of the teachers that I had in high school and middle school, they were very like, I'm gonna call you out on the stuff that you're doing that like they're real with you, right? They're real with you, and
Mm,
just like, don't give me that, like, don't, like, no, like that's not a, they're very straightforward with you. They try to speak to you in a way that is appropriate, for your age, knowing how certain kids react, right? How certain
mm,
kids might behave and stuff like that. And a lot of it comes with that intention of they can see that potential in you, and they want to help cultivate that. And those are some of the best teachers that always that I think about, that I remember all the time whenever I'm pursuing different things. Like, I'll remember what so and so said, or like what they commented before. It's really nice to think about those people, because um, I've always wanted to give like a lot of credit to the teachers, because what they basically do all the time is they're preparing these different people to pursue these jobs that basically help in all aspects of society, right? Like they
mm,
help teach future doctors, they help teach, all these different people. And being able to recognize that in maybe a student who is struggling, like they're struggling with math, and they could be a really good doctor one day, but they just can't get past that one, class in algebra, or whatever it may be, right? So being able to have those kinds of people out there who are really seeking for the best in you, and have that compassion to get you there. It's really, I'm really grateful to the educators that we have out there. Shout out to all my former teachers, if they ever see this, because they do a great job. Shout out to all of our I know we have a lot of teachers in our district too, so shout out to them. You guys are great.
I think Katrina's one of them. So give a shout out to her from Milwaukee. From Milwaukee.
I'd also like to shout out my sister-in-law from Omaha at the Shah at the Feliciano Fuente, who is also a teacher. Um, to quickly touch on what you've mentioned earlier, Tony. Um, there are also the teachers, at least ones that I've experienced, who are also coaches. So like that's how they play a multifaceted role too outside the classroom. Like if you're in a sport, you've got. I was fortunate. Well, I didn't play sports in high school. I guess would you call an academic team a sport? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I was fortunate to have teachers who were coaches in that aspect too. So outside of the classroom, they helped foster your talent that they were able to see um, you have. And so being coached in that way, being coached in studying material, being coached in developing your talent, those were experiences that I will remember. And as all of us here, I believe I can speak on the three of us as Sunday school teachers. We've inherited stuff that we've learned from our school teachers, and I'm sure in our own individual teaching style, we'd like to develop the kids that we teach, to raise them, teach them good manners, to make sure they're doing well, to just check on them too, because we've learned that it's more, a teacher takes more than just the classroom and just um, instilling knowledge, right? It's more of developing their behaviors as well. So I'd like to shout out all of the teachers that I had growing up as well, in the classroom and um, in church as well. Every Sunday, I've had lots of teachers growing up, and including my Ate Rachel, who's in the YouTube live chat. I'm sure she's there in as well. So one of my favorite teachers growing up, I will say. Speaking of our districts, activities that we've had, like our teachers, EJ, did you want to shout out to H2? I thought I heard you
I
mute.
don't know because
Sorry.
it did mention the activities that we had for both districts of Great Lakes and
Yes.
Northern Plains. So, Kit Tech, can you please show us what activities have happened in here in no, in both districts? I know a lot of them or most of them have been CFO Day. So let's see what CFO Day activities we've had in the two districts. Take it away. Kit Tech. CFO in action. Let's check out the CFO Day activities. So the local Bloomingdale, this is your locale, has had a chapel beautification.
Yes. Yeah, cleaning up our garden, all the trees out there. So
Trimming
it's
the trees,
yes.
the branches, I should say. The local Lake County had their socializing. The kids are so cute. They're they're preparing the goodie bags. Preparing the goodie bags to give away to everyone, I think, because I did see, you'll see some of the pictures of, yeah, they are also giving it to the Kadira and to each other as well.
So happy they are. So smiley. I love it. That's a food too.
Oh, yeah, food.
It is one of our favorite parts.
And the local congregation of Naperville had a bowling for their I think this is their day 2, right? For CFO.
Yes.
They had a bowling activity.
Lots of fun.
And in Northern Plains, Omaha had a family picnic for their CFO Day. Oh man, look how sunny and wonderful that day is.
You get to spend time with the extended family, which includes the pets. So I like when everyone brings their pets to activities. It's fun to see them.
Yes, and for upcoming activities, the on May 19th, Milwaukee has a team building activity, and Park Ridge has a neighborhood appreciation. On May 24th, Chicago has a Friday Youth Mission, as well as on the 31st as well. It's a Friday Youth Mission. On May 27th is the Regional Unity Games, as well as Cleveland's Family Fun Day, and the start of the district-wide halaman sa bakuran or backyard gardening. And the local, or not the local, the District of Northern Plains has a musical evangelical mission on that day as well. And I know this is another one of our segments that you're all looking forward to, our CSD. This is your sign. And so let's find out what they're going to teach us today.
This is your sign.
In today's topic, we're going to be learning a phrase that is commonly used, especially at school. So when students learn something and they find it difficult to process the first time, they will tell their teacher that they can't learn it or that it's simply too hard to understand. And the teacher will give them words of encouragement such as, "You can do it." So today, that's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn how to sign the phrase, "You can do hard things." To start off, all you have to do, point at the person you're talking to. That's going to be you. So you. The way you sign the word can, have both of your hands in fists, and then bring them forward. So can. The way you sign do, you'll have both of your hands again, and then you're going to make a circular motion with them, and they'll be going in the opposite direction once. Remember, when you sign do, this is for the action. Do. Now, to sign the word hard, you'll use both of your hands again, and you're going to have them in this position. And next, have your non-dominant hand laying out just like this, and with your dominant hand, you'll bring them together and hit both hands like this. Hard. Now, finally, to sign the word things, all you have to do, with one hand, you'll lay it out just like this, and then move it to the side. This goes for your dominant hand. Move it outside. Things. Now, we're going to put all those words together, so it would be you can do hard things. We'll try that one more time. You can do hard things. Thank you for watching today's Sign of the Week, and we hope to see you in future activities.
This is your sign.
Shout out to Sister Sophia, who's given us our sign of the week this week. And they also have an activity tomorrow, I believe, a webinar on how to sign, I believe it is the signs of the rooms in your home. So I believe kitchen, I'm going to use kitchen a lot probably. Like I'll be in the kitchen. I'm going to ask if they can sign that one tomorrow. But before we do wrap up, we do have that one last segment that you're all looking forward to, our hashtag challenge segment, which I will preface with I have not seen as many ties as I did last week. So we're going to find out who's tied in our hashtag challenge. Let's find out from our tech. Hope you're ready for the ties. But we'll start with honorable mention.
Nathan Russell from South Central, right? He's our honorable mention. Thank you for tuning in with us.
Okay. Third place, we're gonna go to Sterling Heights, Michigan, with France there in Sterling Heights, taking the third place. Congrats. Second is gonna go to Kansas City, Kansas, with a tie.
In Sterling Heights. It's Christine Reyes and Jen Dio. Yeah. They tied in the individual.
And we have another tie in first with two names you probably heard many times that we've announced, Brother Edwin and Sister Rachel. So congrats to both of you. Let's see if the tie will be broken next week, possibly. I don't know, or Sterling.
I think so. Because there's I'm seeing a lot more variation in the hashtags.
Yeah, we love the variety. We love the number of people who've shown up last week and today. So Of course, we can't forget to thank all of you who've tuned into our broadcast this afternoon of INC Radio Northern Midwest, wherein we got to reminisce on our favorite teachers and how they've helped us. Please make sure to share that link to all your friends, all your loved ones, because we love to hear that you guys are watching INC Radio Northern Midwest. See, you can do it. I think that was the the sign. You can do it. While Tony and EJ are going to sign that, I'm going to give our quick greetings to the districts of Great Lakes and Northern Plains. Brother Elmer Produingal, the District Minister of Northern Plains. Brother Ermin Bendicio, the District Minister of the District of Great Lakes, as well as Brother Art Agag, who is our Assistant District Minister. Here in Great Lakes. Last but not least, Brother Angelo Aranio Vimanalo, Subsi President, CFO Coordinator, as well as Brother Eduardo Vimanalo, our Executive Minister. Thank you for allowing us to have this platform to share the activities within our districts of Great Lakes and Northern Plains. Coming up next is INC Radio Sacramento, California. So please tune in. You can find that again on the INC Radio YouTube channel. So please search there if you want to not only watch their program, but all other programs of INC Radio. But we would love to have you back next week on INC Radio Northern Midwest, which is every Saturday, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to stay phenomenal, and we will see you next week. Bye. See, you can.
Great weekend.